It's time for Cats Talk Wednesday. Small town and big city joined forces. Vinny Hardy of Lynch, Kentucky, and Terry Brown of Louisville, Kentucky, team up to give you free-flowing, laid-back sports talk. Focus on Kentucky Wildcats, as well as pertinent information in the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball.
And here we are, another episode of Cats Talk Wednesday on a Wednesday. Terry, all moved in. Brown is back. What's up, man?
Yeah, man, I am all last week or so as I get my hat situated. I'm all crooked. But last week has been crazy. And we were supposed to have internet last Wednesday. Dude came out, was like, no, your junction box, this, that. I said, okay, all right. So we got internet on Friday, but small snags. So all moved in. Sammy's still doing his thing, sleeping everywhere except the bed. So we're doing good.
Good stuff. So Sammy already, he in mid-season form in the new place.
Oh yeah. He's ridiculous. So it's going good, man. Life is good out here with the cornfield in the backyard.
There you go. Glad y'all got all moved in. I've heard the spaces last night, and then I was on the spaces last week when you was just kind of popping in, and because you were still trying to move and all that, and something was going on with your toilet. What happened with the toilet, or what did somebody do to your toilet? There was some toilet talk.
The movers were great. They did a really, really good job. I can't complain, except for early in the morning when the guy said, Mr. Brown, can I use your bathroom? Okay. I mean, when somebody asks you that, what are you thinking they're going to do? Okay. So I said, yeah, it's right down the hall. I'm getting boxes together, and stepson goes up to me and says, where's the plunger? I said, I don't know. Like, at this point, it's moving day. Stuff is in I said, okay, I think I put it here. We found it. Yeah, so the mover guy clogged up my toilet.
At the old house?
At the old place.
Because one last clog up before you go.
Yeah, if it was the new place, we would have been out there fist fighting. Ain't nobody clogging up this new toilet but me. I disconnect the cable, turn the lights out.
That's right. When he asked you, I thought you was gonna hit him with the Mr. Jones. What you gotta do? Number one or number two?
Well, I just assumed because it was 8:30 in the morning. Like, man, y'all just showed up. Like, this wasn't mid-move. This was before they did anything.
Wow.
Like, you take care of that before you come.
Man.
But other than that, it was a good move. Nothing got broken. Nothing got lost. So, feeling very fortunate about that.
There you go. I guess I come in and missed it. I just heard something about the toilet, and every time I was on the spaces, you had already talked about it or whatever. So I was like, let me get caught up on the toilet situation.
Well, I got on the space. I was driving back and forth because we closed at Tuesday at 1. Or noon. So we had to be out by Wednesday at noon. And so it was a bit to get everything all the way out. And long story short, we got it. So
there you go.
Doing good. Everything is in. Everything is out of boxes for the most part, and doing pretty good.
There you go. Well, good deal. And glad to have you back on here. And we'll hit some of the stuff we skipped last week, and got stuff going on this week, the media days, and some recruits and some Big Blue Madness is coming back according to Cal, stuff like that. You was texting me about some former Cats in the Big Three that I didn't know about. I found a whole nother league that a former NBA player is starting. I don't know if you've seen that. I'll talk about that. Got to talk about Ja Morant cooking MJ and what prompted that discussion, and because that happened last week, and we didn't hit. I ain't even gonna hit that until TB comes back. But all kind of stuff going on, man. And y'all can always listen, as on Anchor, Spreaker, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. So many podcast platforms that Ben Sutter of the BS3 Network has put us on. I'm not even familiar with all of them, but they out there and people can access
That's right.
us on them. You can watch us on Roku. You can watch us on YouTube. Got the audio, got the visual, got it all going. Follow us at Cats Talk Wednesday. T-Brand_80 right there. Follow me at Vinny Hardy. And we do this each and every week. Try to bring y'all a fun show each and every time. And well, today, Kentucky was, I guess the big news, Kentucky was on the podium at Media Days. It was in Atlanta this time instead of Hoover, out there at the old Winfrey Hotel where it's been for years and years, at the College Football Hall of Fame, which I got to stop in there and check that out at some point. It looks great. Coach Stoops was making the rounds along with Will Levis, Kenneth Horsey, DeAndre Square, and they did us proud like they always do.
Yeah, Media Days for me, it's a lot of ridiculousness, but it does get you excited. That's why I've got my football jersey on. Get you in the football mood. So I am excited about football. Nothing's really gleaned from it. It's good for teams to bring their guys, and the only thing I have is okay. So I don't know if you saw Shane Beamer, head coach of USC Junior, South Carolina, had a video with Soulja Boy music and all this kind of stuff. I said that's a lot of stuff to do to get dog walked by Kentucky. And so Missouri player also said, is Kentucky a rival or whatever? Look, man, okay. Since 2014, since 2014, South Carolina, Missouri, and Vanderbilt have combined for 3 wins against Kentucky. They have one apiece. In that same stretch, Kentucky's won 21 games against them. Now, I'm not good at mathing, but 21 seems more than 3.
It does.
So this is what I said on the Spaces last night. I don't get too bent out of shape when talking heads pick against Kentucky for whatever it is. You want to pick against Cal and the men's hoops team, fine. You want to pick against Coach Elzy and the women's basketball team, whatever. You want to pick against football, that's fine. I mean, those people, they make predictions, whatever. If you and I have made predictions on this show that are proven to not come true, I get it. But when the talking heads say things like, South Carolina is a better program than Kentucky, how? The math ain't mathing. Or Missouri is equal to, how? That's all I'm asking is, if you want to say Kentucky's going to finish 7-5, all right, that who knows? Who knows? Yeah, that could happen. But your reasoning can't be because it's Kentucky football.
Right.
We've built enough since 2014 where we kind of made that turn and since that time, 2-3 against Tennessee, 2-2 the last 4 against Florida. Yep. So other than Georgia, as we've argued on this program before, Kentucky is the second best program in the East.
Yep.
When you factor in the last 4 to 5 seasons, Florida is starting over, Vanderbilt is starting over. You look at what happened in Missouri. So all I'm saying is there's a reason why Kentucky is trending upward, and we're beating these teams head to head. As you have pointed out, it seems like every offseason, South Carolina's picked to finish ahead of Kentucky in the SEC. And since 2014, that has not happened. We have run Muschamp out of there. Steve Spurrier quit after he lost to Kentucky. Like, right, lost to Kentucky at home, and he was like, I'm out, like the next week. So You know, Coach Stoops is collecting I was going to say collecting scalps, but that's not exactly PC anymore. But he's collecting some skins of vanquished foes. So
Mm-hmm.
again, you can say what you want to say. Well, I don't think Kentucky can beat Georgia. Okay, I'm with you. Well, I don't think they can beat Missouri. Why? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that? Why do you think Missouri's a better pro? Like, okay, it's been a long time since Missouri went to back-to-back SEC title games.
Yeah.
I'm talking. You look at the last 4 or 5 years. Kentucky's a strong number two to Georgia.
Mm-hmm. The kid from Missouri, there, I think of their DB. I saw one of his interviews with Alyssa Lang, well spoken. Martez Manuel's his name, well spoken, likable young man. And I forget who, it might have been Aaron Gershon that asked him, which he's co hosted now with on Believe in Kentucky with me. He was asking him about Kentucky. And this kid's from Columbia, Missouri now. So he's seen these losses firsthand. He's a
Mm-hmm.
native, he's a local. He was in high school when Kentucky started to get the upper hand. To me, it's almost like he's speaking for the whole town. He's speaking for the community. We hate Kentucky. There's bad blood there. I just don't like that blue and white. So this is, you got CJ Conrad going out there snatching a win from him. They went out
Yeah.
there and Benny and Boom just ran all over him out there one time on their field.
Yeah.
He kind of made it like, we lost on some stupid stuff. Last year we lost by 7. Well, last year the score wasn't as close as the game really was. Chris Rodriguez fumbled at the goal line. Kentucky's on the verge of just running them out of Kroger Field. It got way closer than it should have, but
Right.
when the dust settled, they took another loss to Kentucky. So this just festering and it's just irritating them. It's just irking them. And it's like he just speaking for all of Columbia, Missouri. We hate Kentucky.
And I don't even think about Missouri football.
Mm-hmm.
Our focus, and maybe I'm speaking for the Big Blue Nation, it's not Missouri or South Carolina. Like, you want to win those games, obviously, but it's the Georgia game. You take care of Florida early, Georgia late. Oh wow, that Georgia game can be a really big deal at the end of the year. So the focus has shifted.
Yep.
We're not trying to write the program. We're trying to keep the momentum going, and it's two different places where that's two different areas from where Kentucky is now to where these other programs are.
Yeah. And you talk about what you glean from the media days. And one thing I gleaned talking about Missouri, I don't know who was saying it or which media person was saying it, but they came into the conference winning the East. Gary Pinkel, they went to Atlanta a couple years in a row.
They did.
Won the division, went and represented the East in Atlanta, and everything is great. And Missouri's riding high. And since they have joined the Southeastern Conference, they have had 4 athletic directors. So there is no continuity from the top amongst the whole department. You break it down to football, they've had 3 defensive coordinators in that span. So 4 athletic directors in 10 years, that's every 2.5 years, if my math is right, you get a new AD. Also, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't the average NFL career last 3 years?
Thereabouts, yeah.
The average NFL career, which is fleeting, is still longer than the average AD tenure at Missouri. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and again, not to dump on Missouri too much, because I think it's a good program, I guess. I mean, if that's your thing. But my only argument is, again, if you're going to say that such and such a team is better than Kentucky, you got to be more than just you've got to say more than, well, it's Kentucky. We're beyond that now.
Yeah.
We've beaten, I'm saying we, because I'm wearing my blue and white. The Cats have beaten everybody except Georgia.
Yep.
and the losses to the other Titans in Tennessee and Florida have been a whole lot closer. Now I know close only counts in horseshoes, but still, uh, you have to be willfully blind to not see the progress Kentucky's making on the football field. So, I don't know if Will Levis is going to be a. No, I doubt he's a number one overall draft pick, and but can he have a good season? Absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. So,
So I'm not trying to dump on them either, but their schedule when you look at the SEC, just real quick, it starts out at Auburn. First home game for them in the SEC, Georgia, at Florida, which they're building and trying to find their way.
mhm.
You have to like your chances when Vanderbilt comes to Columbia. Then it's at South Carolina. Probably flip a coin. Kentucky out there in Como, at Tennessee, and then they got Arkansas, who was Arkansas is kind of like Kentucky, winning 8, 9 games a year now, and kind of trying to get up there and second in the West. So it's tough every year, but it's looking kind of tough for Missouri
Yeah,
again. I don't know about old Drinkowitz. He might, yeah.
yeah. So again, with all the media days, you don't get a whole lot.
Yeah.
Some folks
No.
making a big to do because Vanderbilt's coach said, they're going to be the best program
Yes.
in the country.
Yes.
But what is he supposed to say? My team is going to be crap. Like we're going to be like, I don't know. In some of these instances, I just don't know what folks expect players or coaches to say.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he can't go back in the locker room because he's talking about, yeah, we're going to be, we'll be better than terrible. You're supposed to have that kind of confidence. I remember a few years ago at the Nutter training facility there in Lexington, they had a big thing about the college football playoff, right? And folks
Yep.
laughed.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of years later, when the rankings came out, Kentucky was right there.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you have to speak things into existence.
Yeah.
And I get it. Vanderbilt is I think it's different for Kentucky to say we're going to be in the college football playoff. It's a little different. But for Vanderbilt to say we're going to be the best team in the country, that's lofty goals,
In
but speak it
time,
to existence.
we're gonna be the best program in the country. Now ETSU went down there last year and just mollywopped them. So that's where they trying to build from. If he gets it to where James Franklin had it, where they win like 8 games, I mean, they're ready to build a statue. They were, Franklin was taking them to bowl games, and they're winning 8. I
Right.
think bowl games. I think the bowl game gave them 9 wins one year. They were dominating Tennessee. They had like a 3-4 game win streak against the
Right.
Vols, which was
Get back to
huge.
that. Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
So I think Vanderbilt can get back to respectability, but it's only going to get tougher
yeah.
when we get Oklahoma and Texas into the SEC in a few years, and all that shakes out.
And I sometimes when you pop on the SEC network or whatever on a Saturday, Nashville's a great city, but sometimes I catch myself feeling bad for Vanderbilt because whoever the opponent is, they take over that stadium. If they're playing Georgia, it looks like you're in between the hedges. If they're playing Kentucky, it looks like you're at Kroger Field. Of course, when they play Tennessee, it's all orange in there. Whoever they play road games year round. So I'm like, bless their heart,
Yeah, I went to a Kentucky Vanderbilt football game probably 8 years ago. Anyway, but yeah, you walking up to the stadium, it's nothing but blue and white. Like,
Yeah.
what is for Kentucky fans? Obviously, Vanderbilt's really, really close. Nashville's right there. But if you're a Alabama fan, it's probably more cost effective to plan a trip, go all the way to Nashville, than try to get some good tickets at Bryant Denny Stadium.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I feel bad for him, having to
Look at this jerk. Look at this jerk. Look at this jerk. He was fighting to stay in here with me. For those just listening to the audio, my dog likes to be where I am until he doesn't want to be. So now he wants to be out. Hold on. let me let him out.
So I need to cue that Jackson 5. I want to be where you are. Sammy wants to be where TB is until he doesn't. So go ahead and let him out. But, I had that Jackson 5 on cue. I would have played it right there. Right when you said he wants to be where I am, I would have hit that.
Yeah, well, that dog is something else. Good dog, but anyway. So, like I said, you're not going to get a whole lot out of the media days,
No.
but always good to see.
And it is that official, unofficial start to the season. Let you know this month and a half is about to, end of August is in sight, and you can almost see the games starting to go. What basketball side real quick? Big Blue Madness is coming back. Camp Out's coming back. All of that stuff. The basketball team did the statewide tour. Went to London. Went to Moorhead. Went to Georgetown. Went all over the state. Currying goodwill again, and being received by large crowds of all ages, and kind of just helping everybody feel good. For those that didn't, this was good to just see the Cats and see Cal and see everybody out in town and touring the state, TJ Beisner and everybody. And so they had a good tour. BBM campouts coming back. All just all kind of stuff like that as they get ready for the season start.
Yeah. Again, that portion of the fan base that's going to be unhappy, whatever. But I thought it was a good thing for Cal, the players, to get out there and reconnect a little bit.
Yeah.
We do have some new players, but it's good. Oscar we've had some great players in the program going back 80 years. I don't know if we've had anybody just as a better person than Oscar Tshiebwe. Like
that's
just what so getting him out there, getting some of the returning folks out there, the Lance Ware and Jacob Top, and letting those folks, because this is what it used to be when you and I were in school. You got guys for 3-4 years. So I'm glad. Again, a lot of people are not going to be happy until the season comes and they're beating everybody by 20 points. But definitely it was good to see.
Yep. So, all this basketball, like you said, we talked the big three last week. You text me about a former Cat out there hooping in the big three that I didn't know about. I had no clue when you text me that.
About Isaiah Briscoe?
Or Jody Meeks.
Or Meeks. Yeah, Meeks. Yeah, his team lost, but he still got that shot, right? He had a couple of the 4-point shots there in the big three, and Briscoe had a pretty good day as well. So, I'm just rooting for those guys. I'm like, if you're gonna be all Cats everything, not just the NBA, although Meeks had a good run in LA and some other places, and got the title there in Toronto. So I enjoy the big three. I enjoy it. Mario Chalmers looks like he on his squad, a couple of former Jayhawks on that team, and he's out here. He's doing the yelling. He's yelling at folks like how he used to get yelled at on the Heat. So.
And speaking of heading out, we got a guest coming up too. About half an hour. We got Brian Jones, and he is out there in those Rave-On sports app streets. He's a host like we did last year, and I got you. TV's got some Sammy stuff going, but Brian Jones is gonna hop on, and TB talked about Kansas and the Jayhawks and Mario Chalmers and all of that. So Brian is from Kansas City, so we get that Kansas City vibe for him as far as the Chiefs, as far as the Jayhawks and all that. Sammy is doing his thing. You get the all access. Y'all, this is why you got to get the show on Roku, because you can see that Sammy is, Sam I Am over there to TB's left. That whatever it was, was delicious. What?
His dog. He wants to get out, and he's scratching to come back in. I'm through with you, Sammy. I'm through with you.
So see y'all hop on BS3 Network and y'all can see Sammy, the celebrity. If you don't follow Terry, which most of y'all already do, you see the pictures on Instagram and Twitter, but you can also see him live and in person on Roku. But you was talking about Chalmers and some Jayhawks. Brian Jones is from Kansas City. He is out there in those Rave On Sports Streets out, because he hosts on Rave On like we did. So that's one reason I crossed paths with him and said, let's bring him on. So he's from Kansas City, so he can definitely, speak about Chalmers maybe yelling and getting yelled at. Probably have to talk about his Jayhawks winning the title because they end up playing their best basketball at the right time and talk some Chiefs, all that kind of good stuff with Brian Jones. Haven't had him on the show, but he's looking forward to coming on, and we'll be on with him here in a few minutes. This other league I was telling you about, TB, I don't know if you had saw it or not, but the Big Three has been a success. We've seen what Cube has done and, getting some hooping on in the summertime. It's 3-on-3. A lot of former NBA guys and prominent college guys and stuff like that. But Tracy McGrady has founded the Ones Basketball League on Twitter at OBL Hoops, an elite one-on-one basketball league. The finals of it looks like just happened a couple days ago, but the Twitter account started in December, and it's like a one-on-one basketball league founded by T-Mac. So I don't even know how I saw it. Somebody retweeted it or something. I was like,
I've not heard about that.
Yeah. OBL Hoops, and T-Mac is the founder. So it's a one-on-one league. So I thought, hey, it's summertime. We ain't got nothing to talk about. Let me throw that out there and it's something for us to delve into, at some point. But hope my man, former Rocket, for a minute, hope T-Mac does well on his venture there. So
yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, let's see. OBLHoops.com is the website. So according to this, I guess the season is over. The finals were on July 15th and 16th, but OBLHoops.com, maybe there's some highlights and some dudes that we know that are in the league. I have to go and look and like you said, get a little curious and see what's going on over there. I saw too, Jamal Crawford still at it. That's a dude need to be in the Big Three. He was lighting up the Crawford League the other day. I wish he would join the Big Three if he's not gonna make one last shot at the NBA or if nobody's gonna sign him. The 4-point shot, Crawford would tear the Big Three up.
Jay Smooth, baby. There are guys. You got the basketball is so great because you can appreciate different guys that do different things. Some people were just meant to score the basketball. I'm not facilitating. I'm going to go get mine. And he's one of those dudes. And there's a value to that, right? Because we see a lot of people that can't go get their own bucket. And Crawford did it for years and years and years. So I'm a little shocked that he kind of faded out of the NBA. I know a lot of NBA dudes was tweeting like he deserves a shot. But yeah, I'd love to see him at the Big Three.
Yeah, still looks to be in good shape. He's 42. I didn't realize he was just a couple years younger than us, but still looking in pretty good shape. Like he, taking care of himself and staying ready.
Because he left Michigan in like 90, or was it? Can you hear my dog?
Hey man, he got the rhythmic snore going on. I was listening to that. It's like he was playing the tuba. That is skill. That is skillful.
Yeah, that's Sammy.
He ain't just snoring, he is rhythmically snoring. I hear you, Sammy.
Yeah, he left Michigan in 2000. So yeah, I knew he was thereabouts our age.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Sammy.
I run this show. It's a new house. I'm in here
He likes to sit at the front window. There's a house across the street from us being built right now, and he likes to watch the guys work, and he barks and Sammy.
So he done already made the rounds, went through all the rooms and did everything and
Oh
seen
yeah,
what
oh
he
yeah.
see and hey, Sammy's running the show. Sammy running the show. This came up in the spaces, and I'm gonna blame you. I'm gonna blame Terry TB Brown because our number one fan, Michelle, and y'all talked about it last night. She gonna tag me in a tweet talking about, number rings since 96 or 97. J-Lo has 6. The Cowboys have none. And everybody liked it and laughed. And y'all talked about it last night. I think she took her cue from you because she listens every week. And TB always gets some little shot in about, a Super Bowl is twin such and such. Or the Cowboys haven't been since Clinton was in office. Or the Cowboys haven't been in the high-def TV era. So I think Michelle just took your cue and threw some little Cowboy shade at me. Our number one fan, Michelle, just throwing savage Cowboys heat. Like, come on, Michelle.
I can't say anything. My Niners haven't won in that same stretch. They haven't gone in any. They haven't won any rings. So, but yeah, I try to have fun with the Cowboys, and I did give you a shout out too last night. I said Cowboys fans are devoted. There's no bandwagon Cowboy. Where they bandwagon on, but they show up, they show out. They fill Jerry World. They travel well. I mean, they had quite a few people there in AT&T Stadium. Their last home game in the playoffs.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, that was brutal. What a terrible ending. My God. They were replaying that the other day with the running and sliding and running. Anyway. I think Michelle's a Bears fan, right? I know she's up there in Wisconsin right now, but isn't she a Bears fan?
I believe she is a Bears fan. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I can't wait till Niners Bears so we can see what trash y'all talk here in a couple months. What week 1, right?
It's week 1. I was trying to make that work, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it work. But we're going to try to go to Minneapolis. It's the Niners are playing a preseason game against the Vikings the same weekend as the Twins are hosting somebody. So we're going to try to do a Minnesota double dip because that's where the missus went to college up there in Minnesota.
And that's not far away, right? That's not that far away.
2.5, 3 hours. It's 4 hours or maybe 5 to Chicago, 3 plus to Kansas City. So we're in the right spot. We're kind of 3 hours from wherever you want to be.
Yeah, that's us down here. 3 and change to Nashville, 3 and change to Atlanta, 3 and change to Charlotte, 3 to Lexington. So it's that little, 4 to Louisville, that same kind of thing. So I got you. I didn't know y'all that close to Minneapolis. My Big 10 Midwest city geography. I ain't got it down yet. I didn't know y'all was that close to Minneapolis, but that's good stuff. And speaking of your Niners that you might watch in Minneapolis, I just saw where Jimmy G was given permission to seek a trade. So is that him asking and they said okay, or he's given permission to seek a trade? I saw that scroll across the ticker. I went,
Yeah, I think it's good for. It's one of those situations where it's going to be best for everybody. The 49ers are ready to hand it over to Trey Lance. Gave up a lot of draft capital to get Trey Lance, so you got to see what you got at some point. And the downside is, Jimmy G. Look, I have wrestled with trying to make that thing a thing. It just wasn't happening. The problem is he was a good teammate because you didn't hear anything come out about that dude at all. And usually when the quarterback play is subpar, dudes can't wait, to pile on. But they loved him. Like they absolutely, and the thing is with Jimmy G, there was just a ceiling on how good the team could be. And the team, as we've talked before, it's win now.
Yep.
It's in win now mode. The AFC is stacked, but the NFC isn't. I've told you before, there's not a team in the NFC that I'm scared of, including the defending Super Bowl champion Rams. We had run 6 straight against the Rams until the NFC Championship game. So, if we get a little bit better quarterback play, Super Bowl.
And this is Lance's second year. He said 1 year.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see, But the one thing we know, Kyle Shanahan can do some scheming, can get some guys in positions to excel.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, this dog, he's in out.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. John Morant too told Taylor Rooks that he would cook Michael Jordan. They had a little interview, and that was one of the big takeaways from it.
I'm not reading too much into that because if you play basketball at any level, everybody gets got. Everybody gets dunked on. Everybody gets crossed up. Iverson got MJ, but no one's going to say that AI was better than MJ. It's going to happen. Could Morant get him? Probably. Once or twice. But at the end of the day, who's going to got more, right? So, young fella's being confident. Of course, he thinks he can get by MJ a time or two. It happens to everybody.
He said cooked him. I'd have cooked him.
But again, that happens. It's one of those things. You play ball long enough, you're going to have to make a business decision or two.
Yeah, that's true. There was the forget who it was on the 90s classic NBA account, but forget who it was. Somebody got a little pass to the lane, but you saw nobody stepping over to rotate over. I forget who it was. It was all business decisions. It was. Yeah. So it was. No, he was gonna get them 2 up and go try to get 2 back on the other end.
Right. And that's what happens. There's that clip where T-Mac went at Kobe. Boom. Kobe went, got the ball, came down court, got to T-Mac. Bam. Like we could, it's okay. Like I said, it happens to everybody. You're gonna get got a time or two. The great ones just get more than they get got.
Yeah, that's for sure. For sure. And we don't cover recruiting a ton, but so everybody knows that. But this football recruit, Anthony Brown, coming from Ohio, another Ohio recruit, which we've seen a ton of Ohio kids coming through since Stoops has been there. But he also happens to be John Legend's nephew. So we got Ray Lewis's son, John Legend's nephew, and even John Legend put the tweet out. My nephew, 4-star receiver, going to Kentucky. So that was kind of cool.
We're gonna take it slow, baby. We're John Legend's nephew. We gotta do that. And plus, he a Brown too. Come on with it. I wish it was basketball. We need more Browns playing basketball.
That's every time you say that, it's hard to believe that it's only been one. That's
just Dale Brown, way back when. But that's good stuff. Like I can't keep up with all the recruiting stuff. I see the names and I respect the people that do that, but I gotta focus. Yeah.
We get those dudes on and talk about. We get Justin Rowland. We get those dudes. But yes, I can't do it day in and day out.
That's right.
In season, out of season, and crystal ball this and He's got his list down to that and Final 10 and Final 5.
Mhm.
More power to y'all.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh. Oh, I was speaking of late to the party. I'm always late to the party on the recruiting, but I was late to party on the doc. Came out last year. Did you watch the Summer of Soul that Questlove did about the Harlem Music Festival? Did you watch that?
I have not watched that yet.
Dude, that is
I need to do that.
dude, yeah. I just finally watched it the other day. It's crazy, man. It's like it just opens up 1969, boom, there it is, and there's a young Mavis Staples who's 29, 30 years old singing. I'm not trying to spoil it. A young mid-20s Gladys Knight up there. The legends that was there, right up the road from Woodstock, and here nobody saw it for half a century, and then yeah. So I won't say much. I won't spoil it. I'll let you be able to watch it, and then it was.
That's on my list of things right now. Me and the missus are going through all the Marvel movies. Just bringing her up to speed on that.
Okay.
And it's been fun.
Yeah. I want to say I'm up to speed. I know a few of them, and I know a Stan Lee cameo when I say, "Oh, there's Stan Lee." I'm getting better, TB. I'm coming along. I'm not a savant like you are, but I'm coming along a little bit. Katie and the boys are watching some. They do the Marvel stuff even more than me, but then they're on some of this Star Wars stuff here lately. The Mandalorian and Boba Fett and all this kind of stuff. Oh, the Star of the Show is back. I can't believe he went from rhythmic snoring. I thought he was deep sleeping, and he just popped up and said, "Let me move around and do something."
Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, it's funny. I was not a dog person. I was not a pet person, but here I am, and he wants to be by me.
Yeah, unbelievable. I'm gonna get this link out to Brian Jones and get him on here in a minute, and we'll talk some Kansas and Kansas City and Jayhawks and Chiefs and whatever else. We talk about Rave on Sports app and all that good stuff. So I'll get that link to him. Let's see. Yeah, the Lakers been kind of quiet lately too. Nothing going on with them right now, right?
I don't know what's happening. They got to try to make it work with Russ, I guess. I mean, they need a good come to Jesus moment about, hey, you can't be shooting like from the left side of the basket, hitting the right side of the backboard or the other side of the rim. So I don't know. We'll see. If AD can be healthy and make that leap, I think things change a little bit. But did get younger. I know they signed a couple of young guys, and hopefully with some defense that'll help. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Darvin Ham.
Yeah.
So good to see him get an opportunity. He paid his dues, quote unquote, like they all like to say. Been an assistant for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure LeBron had to approve of, so they bring him in, and he passed that checkpoint. And we'll see, man. You were hoping Malik Monk would have stayed, but he went on up to Sacramento.
Yeah. I'm still rooting for him. Like I still want to see the Malik Monk we saw in Lexington. I want to see him really have that experience in the NBA because he's a dude that can get you some buckets. Like we were talking about Jamal Crawford. That's a role that I think Malik Monk can fill. Now going to Sacramento,
we know what it does to people. We've seen what it does to everybody.
Yeah, I talked about this on the Spaces last night. A lot of times when we look at people that were draft busts, right? We have this notion of what a draft bust is. Most of the time, they were dudes that never should have been taken that high. Like Anthony Bennett going to Cleveland #1 overall. Like, okay, or Markelle Fultz or some of those guys. They're drafted high. Anytime someone gets drafted #1 or #2, whatever, top 5, you're like, who? That's never a good sign, right? But most of the time, they shouldn't have been taken that high, or the organization they go to is just terribly run.
Mm-hmm.
Now every now and then you just have somebody like a Jamarcus Russell who himself has basically said, "Hey, I didn't do what I needed to do." Right?
Mm-hmm.
You have that, but a lot of times you have, because we were talking about Tim Couch, go to the Browns and just gets failed at every step by the organization, and the Browns are still doing it. Like the Browns are still it's a poorly run organization.
No.
We've talked before about there aren't that many franchises in any sport that's really run well. A lot of times you luck into getting somebody in the draft because, like the Cleveland Cavaliers, they haven't been a well-run franchise since Mark Price left, right?
Yeah,
and they
every day.
Yeah, so they just stumble into LeBron. You stumble into Kyrie. But that's just luck. I think I've said before, my Lakers aren't exactly the most well-run organization. Winning time kind of showed, kind of showed that a little bit.
Is that on Hulu?
HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you're in LA, so as crazy as it is behind the scenes, people want to come play there. So there aren't too many franchises that are well run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
the Spurs are well run.
Mm-hmm.
And your boy Keldon Johnson just got paid 4 years, $80 million. Like he made the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
And when people, they talk about this person should come back. Somebody Trey Lyles should have come back. Why? He's been in the NBA for 7 years. Like that's pretty darn good. Like, okay, he's not an all-star, but staying in the league for 7 years is a win.
Mm-hmm. And Keldon, not going lottery and maybe being disappointed with where he got selected. You fall down to the Spurs, who, like you said, have been well run.
Yeah,
pretty much our whole life, since we were young adults watching the NBA, they've been a stable model organization, and now he was able to cut his teeth and find his footing, and now he's got a big deal. 4 years, 80, and he's continuing to improve too. And I'm glad they rewarded him for what he's already done.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say about the Spurs, look, I love Tim Duncan. He's great, but there was a thing on social media about how he got hit 5 titles when the Lakers had their thing going. Look, man, the Lakers also got 5 titles during that stretch, and went to 1 more finals. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't. And plus, in the playoffs, Lakers had a better record. They ended the Spurs season a bunch of times. So spare me this. The Lakers come on, man. Just come on. Just say Tim Duncan's great. You ain't got to be like that.
Petty Laker, right there it is. Petty Laker. Hate just coming out. There it is.
Ain't no hate. The facts are the facts. You can't say Tim Duncan won 5 titles when Lakers were at there. The Lakers won 5 titles too. What are you talking about?
He's that's Tim took 5 from the Lakers. I mean, the
Lakers escorted them the blank out of the playoffs a couple of times too. So I don't want to hear that. This is how good. Because people are like, well, you get Shaq. The Lakers swept the Spurs in the 2001 Western Conference Finals. Swept them, and Shaq was not the leading scorer in any of the 4 games.
Mm.
Derek Fisher led the team and scored in Game 3. On a team with Shaq and Kobe, it was Derek Fisher. So I don't want to hear all this. Stop it. All right.
What does the tungsten arm mean on your Twitter? You change your name up a lot, but what is tungsten arm? I've been trying to figure out what.
Oh, it is. So talking about the Angels, they got Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, and they're terrible. So I want to get the tweet because it's been making the rounds. Someone last year, every time I see an Angels highlight, it's like Mike Trout hit 3 home runs and raised his average to 528, while Shohei Ohtani did something that hasn't been done since Tungsten Arm O'Doyle of the 1921 Akron Groomsmen as the Tigers defeated the Angels 8-3. And so every time there's a stat line like that on MLB Twitter, it's like old tungsten arm, because this was a few weeks ago. Mike Trout went 3 for 5 with a home run, a stolen base, 3 RBI. Shohei Ohtani went 3 for 5, home run, 1 RBI, and lost to the Orioles 5-4. So it's just
Man.
So that's the thing is, it's in reference to the Angels. I mean, this would be like having Shaq and Kobe and not making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Trout is reaching that rarefied air of, okay, he's going in, he's, however you want to rank him, top 30, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And Ohtani with his pitching and his hitting, yet the Angels are like 30 games out of first. Like what is going on? You're not a small market team.
Yeah.
What are the Angels doing?
Because Randy Johnson and Griffey at least made the playoffs, right? Before he left.
Yeah. That's the thing is, I know baseball, the most talented team doesn't always win, as in every sport. But the Angels are just out of it. Like, what are the if baseball wants to be relevant, they got to get the Angels to be good.
Mm-hmm.
You've got such few marketable stars, and 2 of them on the same team, and the team is terrible. Like right now, I'm gonna look this up. What's the MLB standings? I'm gonna look this up. But that's where tungsten on, and every time I see an Angels highlight, it's just like that.
Yes, I found it. I looked it up now that you said it. That is only a fraction of the likes of your tweet, but 50,000. That's not too shabby. It ain't TB, but it ain't nothing you got. But it's
right now. The Angels are 39-53 in 20.5 games back of the Astros. The only team worse than them in the AL West is Athletics, who won't even send their dudes to the All-Star game. They making them get on True Blue or one of those things. Yeah, man. And see, as I was going through my hats, getting them organized, when's the last time you heard anything about the Texas Rangers?
A-Rod, Juan Gonzalez.
Yeah, you got to because just about every team I can say, I heard this. It just clicked. I was watching the All-Star game, me and the missus, which I don't know if you saw the tweet I got in trouble for.
The Cardinals?
Yeah, when I said she was a Cardinals fan. Woo!
Yeah, I tweeted her a little bit. We were talking about
did you tweet it?
We were talking. Let me find what we were talking about you because wow.
Yeah, I was just having some fun. But anyway, like the Orioles are at 500 at the All-Star break. But I was like, when's the last time you heard anything good or bad about the Texas Rangers?
When we went to Dallas, and I think my wife got that for our anniversary, a tour of AT&T Stadium, and went out there on the field and all that stuff. We got there and we were like, let's just see if the Rangers are playing. If they're in town, we'll go watch the Rangers. And they were. which is right next to Cowboy Stadium. I went and saw the Texas Rangers play a game, and I still don't know nothing about them. Went to their stadium and watched them, and I couldn't tell you nothing.
They went to back-to-back World Series. Again, it's my whole thing about there's teams you just forget they exist.
Josh Hamilton, that's right. They should have beat
Josh Hamilton. Arizona Diamondbacks. When's the last time you heard anything about it?
Yeah. Ron Washington, who's with the Braves now, was managing Texas. I was pulling for them so bad. I wanted him to win one so bad. Yeah, that's true. Diamondbacks, good Lord. I don't know. But we got our guest just popped in backstage. You know, we on Roku now. We got he in the green room. He let me get him.
I like having the green room.
Yes, he hosts a couple podcasts. In the Zone with Brian Jones and the Wednesday Runback podcast. Both of these shows came back and premiered in 2022. We know him from those Rave On Sports app tweets. He holds it down for the Kansas Jayhawks like we do for the Kentucky Wildcats. We're talking about Brian Jones. Follow him on Twitter at BJonesSports. Brian, man, what's up?
How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Just want to make a quick show here. Just wanted to show you guys my shirt here with the Banner 6 2022 national champions.
He coming in hot.
Winningest men's basketball program, the Kansas Jayhawks. Rock top forever.
Oh, he coming in hot, TB. Coming in hot.
I mean, I got to.
Oh, as he should.
Well, and I can't even be mad because I don't dislike Kansas like a lot of people. I respect Kansas. There's teams I don't like Duke, but I got no problem with Kansas.
Yeah, Duke sucks. We don't like Duke either.
Yeah, this isn't just lip service. I'm going to the closet, Vinny.
Okay. Here's the thing. We knew we were going to be talking Jayhawks. I said at the beginning, I said, we realized how. Look at here.
Oh, the retro Jacques Vaughn jersey, nice.
Ooh. His jersey game is crazy. His jersey game and his hat game is, he got something for everybody. So he done already paid homage. He done already paid tribute to KU with that.
Yeah, so I had to let you know I respect Kansas. So there you go.
All right.
And we gotta tip our hat because y'all are the champs. Y'all were playing the best ball when it mattered. We had a lot of fun talking about that trip to Fog Allen. TB was out there for the clinic we put on out there.
Oh man, you got to bring that up. Oh my God, yeah.
When the dust settles, you end up raising the banner, so you got the last laugh, I guess.
Yeah.
But TB,
that game was ugly in so many ways. Like the first 5 minutes, I was like, yeah, we got a good chance. And then after that, I was like, yeah, y'all go ahead and go home. It's over.
And when they showed people leaving the Fog early, we were like, whoa, people walking out the exit. Man, that was there. But yeah, see, like I said, y'all, we had to tip our cap, y'all. Y'all raised the banner. Y'all were playing the way you need to be in March. Y'all peaked at the right time. Took down the Tar Heels and hey.
Yeah, I had a couple of anxious moments that first half. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, this is not looking good. But then they came out first 7 minutes, got it down to a point, hit the gas, and took it on home.
That's it. So man, congratulations. You basking in the glow, man. Basking in that glow.
Yeah, for now. It all changes come November 7th because that's when the title defense begins.
Yeah. And that's what I've said forever. Fans should enjoy it. Kentucky won in 2012. That was Kentucky's 8th title. And I saw a lot of fans, okay, well, we got 8. Let's get 9. I'm like, how about let's enjoy number 8?
Right.
And because now we are 10 years later, we're still stuck on 8. You got, the coaching staff, the players on the team can go ahead and focus on next year a lot sooner than us and start working out and recruiting and all that. Fan bases need to savor it and enjoy every drop of it instead of the banner still swinging and we're like, okay, let's go win another one. I can't get with that. So
That's
enjoy
exactly what happened to
it.
us in 2008. Everybody was like, "Yeah, let's go back to back," and I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute! This is our first one in 20 years. Let's enjoy this. When next year gets here, we'll worry about next year. What happened
Yeah.
next year? Northern Iowa came along and popped us, and then that was the end of that.
Yeah.
And then it took from 2008 until this year for us to win it again.
Yeah.
Preach. Preaching, CB.
Yeah, they're hard to win. Even if you're Kentucky,
They are.
even if you're Kansas, championships are hard to win.
Yes.
You know, when you look at the NCAA tournament starting in 1939, and you know Kentucky's got 8, that's a lot of years of not winning it. Like this stuff is hard to do. And what kills me are the teams or the fans that, well, we should have more. Well, yeah, it would be nice to have more, obviously, but sometimes I think you win what you're supposed to win. I know that sounds out there, but when you start focusing on the ones you didn't win more than the ones you did win, that's an issue.
It is. And what the fans have to realize is that, like you said, it's hard to win it. You know, the last team to go back to back was Florida, and that was what we're talking almost 20 years ago with them when they went back to back, when they beat LSU in Indianapolis and came back the next year and beat Ohio State in Atlanta. You know, and again, his team, his makeup, his coaching. You have to win 6 games, but those 6 games are not easy. You guys know that from playing this year. You guys were 2 seed, played at 15. You can be upset at any time. It just takes one bad game, one bad half, one bad possession, one bad turnover, and you're out of there.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
And the thing about the fans too is they always point, particularly with Cal, the way he's recruited. Well, you know, we should have more, and you know, I can't believe he's got all this talent and he doesn't win. Sometimes that happens. Like I don't want to bring up any old wounds, but that '97 Kansas team, on paper, you look back and it's like, how did that team not win? I know. I got to balance that. But it's like, how did that team? And sometimes those teams just don't win. You run into the one team that just handles everything you do well, and it's just anyway. Let's transition to some better stuff, Vinny.
Yeah, that '97 team, they lost 2 games that year by 5 points. They lost at double overtime in Missouri, 96-94. Lost to Arizona in the Sweet 16, 85-82. 2 games by 5 points.
Yeah.
And it's still to this day, any JR fan, anytime you say the '97 Kansas team, they do what I just did. They just put their heads down. That hurts. That hurts.
We all got
that was the one. That was the one team. That was an automatic championship. That was the one team that didn't get it done.
Yeah.
2 losses by 5 points.
Man, that's brutal. That's brutal. We all got them. Well, let me just get you to tell all the listeners about the 2 shows you host. Tell us how you got started in doing the Wednesday Run Back and In the Zone with Brian Jones. That way we can shift on away from all this painful stuff. Tell us about what you're doing on these airwaves out here, man.
Right. So the In the Zone podcast that I have started off about 7 years ago. I was doing a podcast with my friend LaDonna Samani. She was going through after co-host, so I did guest spots on her show. And we did a show together for about 3 years. And the people that we were with wanted to split us. They kept wanting to split us up. And we were like, no, we'll stay together. Well, she had went off on maternity leave, and the show kind of fell off a little bit. So they were like, hey, Brian, why don't you just take over for a while till she comes back, and we'll see how things go. Now, little did I know this is actually a trap that I walked into, which gave me my own podcast. So I did it for about 6 weeks. The ratings took off. Everything was great. And then when she was ready to come back, they were like, oh, well, we're going to split you guys up. So you keep yours, he gets his, and we'll go on our way. And at first I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I mean, I had written blogs before. I'd done guest spots, co-hosts. I had never grabbed a mic myself and ran with it. But I just sat back one day and said, hey, you want to just rock this out and go with it. And In the Zone covers everything in sports you could imagine, from the winners, the losers, the GOATs, the champions, the has-beens. It covers it all. Contract issues, holdouts, you name it, it covers it. The Wednesday Run Back was an idea that somebody else had gave me to do because they were like in the middle of the week, just like on Wednesdays, like right now. There's nothing in the middle of the summer or in midweek, none of the sports to talk about.
Oh yeah.
You got a good show. Why don't you do something about it? So I sat back and thought about it. I said, okay, let's do this. So basically, during football season, it'll cover the best two games of the previous weekend in college and the pros. Look ahead to the best games of the weekend in the college and the pros. Betting odds, Thursday night football, NFL, and college, and then the 5 things you won't hear on any other show. You won't hear here on First Take, on the radio. 5 things you won't hear about your football weekend on the Wednesday Run Back coming up this year.
There you go. So you getting in gear for the upcoming season, and
yeah, I'm ready to go. Good
stuff. Now, speaking of football, we both rock with blue blood basketball teams. You with Kansas, us in Kentucky. You go back a decade and a half, 20 years, when Kentucky football was at the bottom. Kansas, North Carolina, and Duke, all their football was terrible. And you being a Kansas fan, I mean, you say Gale Sayers and Aqib Talib, that's 2 ballers that, I mean, you can throw them out there and hold your own with anybody.
Yeah.
So what's it going to take for Kansas football to kind of elevate? How passionate are the fans out there about Jayhawk football? What's the vibe like for the football team?
I think that right now we got the right head coach finally. Lance Leipold has went out and recruited. Now, is he doing Texas, Alabama, USC, Oklahoma recruiting? No. He's went out and found players that are going to fit his program. They're going to be Kansas Jayhawks, and they're going to epitomize what it means to be a Jayhawk and raise the program up. We beat Texas last year in Austin. Yeah. That was a landmark win for us. The next week, we went to TCU. We lost by 3. We almost beat Oklahoma had it not been for a referee who didn't know what a forward lateral was and stopped us. We'd have beat him. Everybody knows that. So he has the foundation that's there. It's just a matter of him getting the players, then buying into the system and the program, and getting the wins. He's getting the players. We're going to see this year they're going to buy into the program. This year, if we win 3 or 4 games, I'm okay with that. Next year, I myself want to be going somewhere in a sunny locale, whether it be Florida or the Bahamas or Hawaii, to go to a bowl game. That's the expectation. That's the expectation of all Jayhawk fans right now. They're behind the football program. They want to see it succeed. They want to see it on a national level again. When Mark Mangino had us out there, like I said, with Aqib Talib, and we're going out here to BCS bowls and playing on New Year's Day and get more national recognition. So it's going to take a while, but we'll be back.
What's the vibe like on a Saturday in the fall for a Jayhawk home football game?
Memorial Stadium at the booth nowadays is not as raucous as it was back in the days of Talib and those guys there when they were going to bowl games. The atmosphere is more of a family atmosphere. You bring your kids out, they get to watch the game, they get to experience the college atmosphere. That's how the football game goes. But when they come back, when they start contending again, that's going to be a full stadium that I don't think any team in the Big 12 or nationally is going to want to walk into and face.
There you go. So little by little, just kind of chip away. It's not going to happen overnight, but
no, step by step.
Happy with the guy in place and just step back and let him work. Sounds like, okay.
Exactly.
Well, the thing that I've noticed when it comes to particularly blue blood basketball programs, the fan bases don't quite understand football isn't basketball. Basketball, you can get 1 or 2 dudes and you change like that, right? Football, you got to put that work in. You got to get this class of 20, this class of 20, develop them. It takes a little bit more of that, elbow grease, so to speak, to get to where you want to go. And I know as a Kentucky fan, trying to, and plus when you're playing, against like the Texas and Oklahomas that have that pedigree, it's a little bit of a challenge. You can't do what they do, right? Like for Kentucky, we're not going to be able to do what Nick Saban does. So stop trying to do that. You've got to find what works for you, right? You've got to find your own thing and how you want to recruit, how you want to develop, how you want to build a program. It's not as easy as I think a lot of people particularly basketball fans, think, well, you just get a couple of guys. No, you gotta develop that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's right. And again, you get to go out there and you actually have to recruit. It's not like in basketball where you can go out there and you can get a center and a point guard, and next thing you know, you're a national championship contender. No, in this game, you have to have a quarterback. You have to have a running game. You have to have more than one running back because again, spread the ball around. You have to make sure your offensive line is solidified. Make sure those backups are going to be available to you. You have to find your X receiver, your wide receiver, who's going to be number one. Find your tight end. Do they fit your scheme? Yeah. Because sometimes you can go out and recruit a player and think that he's in the picture scheme. You get a year or two in there like, this ain't working. Next thing you know, he's in the transfer portal, and then you got to start over again. And then you start cycling and start going backwards. Now you got problems on your hands, fan bases on your neck. AD's looking at you like, what's going on? So it's a process. And the Kansas fans have to understand that now because they think that because we beat Texas last year, we're going to go to a bowl game this year. No. Piece by piece, you have to get your pieces in place in order to contend with the big boys. Now, are we going to be on national television playing Texas and Oklahoma every year? No. Do we got a chance to beat them every year? You bet we do. But it's going to take time, and they got to have patience with Coach Leopold and his staff in order to get it done.
Missouri has been over here in the SEC with us for about a decade now, and
keep them over there. We don't like them.
Their DB, that's where I'm going. Their DB is talking noise about how he hates Kentucky because Kentucky been beating them for a while. Do y'all still hate them? Do you still that Missouri hatred still there? That's what I'm.
Yeah, we don't like Missouri. We stopped them by like 40 points last year. I loved every second of it. Hell no, we don't like Missouri.
Do you hate them more than anybody? Is that your number one?
Yeah, that's them. Them, and the stepchildren upstate in Manhattan. We don't like them either. At K-State.
Okay. I got you. I just had a feeling that hatred was still there, even though they've been over here.
No, we don't like them. We've never liked them. We never will like them. They thought going to the SEC, we're going to be better. We're going to win championships and contend. We were looking at them like, we can go ahead and go. Look at them now. Still a doormat.
I heard this week because it's SEC Media Days over here, and TB and I already talked about it. We wasn't trying to just trash Missouri that bad, but in the past 10 years since they joined the SEC, they've been through 4 ADs and 3 defensive coordinators. So there's no kind of continuity, no kind of stability at all for them. So
I would hate to say I feel sorry for Missouri, but I mean they couldn't happen to a nicer program and institution and university. I'm glad to see it. I hope it continues.
Man, he hit him with a staff label and a crew. That's what I'm talking about. If you're gonna be a rival with somebody, be a rival. That's what I'm talking about. Don't hit me with I hope they lose. No, I want them wiped off the map. That's what I'm talking about.
Continue to be the doormat they've been for the past decade. Step on them. You step on them. I step on them. Everybody steps on them.
Gotta flip it to the Chiefs real quick because you're out there in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Couple guys. First, Darren Kennard, former Cat, just got drafted out there on the offensive line. So I gotta check in, see how he's doing. And second, Devin Key, son of UK linebacker back in the day, Dante Key. He went to Western Kentucky, but he's out there as well. So what's the status on those 2 guys for the Chiefs?
I think both of those guys are going to make the team. Kennard is probably going to be a future. I don't want to say a left guard or a right guard. He could play tackle. We need him to play tackle, should I say? They're probably going to try to make him into a guard. And then with Key, I think he'll probably wind up being contributing on special teams at first before they implement him and stream him into the defense here at some point later this season.
Good stuff. I knew you be on top of it. We got to just get a little, see what's going on with guys from, especially Kennard, who just, he did play right tackle at Kentucky. So, but just knew you would know what was going on with him. And then Devin Key, which his brother is coming in as a freshman receiver, Dane this year on the football team. And then, like I said, their dad, legacy kids, their dad played for Kentucky in the late 80s or the 90s back in the day. So had to check in and see what was going on with them, man. What's the overall status for the Chiefs? What's the outlook? Because, I enjoyed watching them beat TB's 49ers in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. That never gets old. What's the outlook for them this year?
Now, let me just interrupt. He gives me trouble because my 49ers lost the Super Bowl. But you're a Chiefs fan. I'm a 49ers fan. Can we explain to him what your team has to do to get to a Super Bowl? He's a Cowboys fan, and he doesn't understand these things.
Oh,
His
he hasn't had
last
one of those in about 30 years. So,
right, he's stuck in the
I'm sorry.
analog. Yeah, we streaming services, and he's still recording his songs off the radio, the
Yeah,
boombox
dial
up
up,
against the
dial up,
speaker.
dial
That's
up.
what I'm saying. Okay, but go ahead, tell us about the Chiefs. Trying to get one on me.
The expectation, the expectation as always is to win the Super Bowl. The problem is that the AFC saw what Joe Burrow did last year. They seen Patrick Mahomes play in 2 Super Bowls, 4 straight AFC title games. They all kind of got together collectively this offseason and said, yeah, enough of this. Let's team up and get these guys up out of here. The AFC West, I think, is going to be the best division in football. The Chiefs will be a playoff team. Right now, today, I don't see them winning the West. I think Denver has a better defense, a better overall team. I think that with the addition of Russell Wilson, that makes them ultimately dangerous because basically what they needed last year was for their defense to step up. They needed a nose tackle and they needed a quarterback. During this draft, they got the defensive players in the draft and the free agency where the defense can step up. They got the nose tackle they needed. They got the quarterback. That they're going to win the West.
Ooh.
But as far as the Chiefs go, I think the Chiefs will be a wild card team. That's not a team that, again, as long as I've always say this, as long as Patrick Mahomes is upright at one Arrowhead Drive, you better be scared of him.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So you got the Chargers and Raiders fighting it out for 4th place, huh?
Yeah, I think the Chargers will be a 3rd place team. The thing about it is that every year, and I see it on his publications, the Chargers are going to win the West. They're going to be a Super Bowl contender, and they always wind up petering out because their head coach thinks that he coaches the team like it's a video game. Just like last year, going forward on 4th and 2 from your own 18, thinking, oh, I can get this. And then when you don't get it, guess what? Those teams got a short field about to hop right behind you and score a touchdown. Like, what are you thinking about?
Yeah.
And then Oakland, their defense, I'm not convinced that their defense is as good as everybody thinks it is. Offensively, yeah, they're good. Carr is good. Of course, they got Devontae Adams, Waller. Yeah, they're gonna be fine on offense. It's their defense that concerns me. I think that's what's holding them back.
That's it. Now, Kansas did win in 2008, but since 2015, Royals, Chiefs, now the Jayhawks again.
Sporting Kansas City got a championship in there.
Which one's been the sweetest? Which one's been the most memorable? Which one's been the most joyous? Whatever word you want to describe for you watching your teams in your city win chips. What's been the most memorable?
Although they are a doormat now, I would say probably the World Series runs in 2014 and 2015 for the Royals are the most memorable because they literally came within 90 feet of tying Game 7. Alex Gordon got held up. I think he would have scored. Anybody who watched the game thinks he would have scored had they waited around from 3rd. Of course, they fought out the next at bat, and then they ended that threat. Seeing how this city came together during the playoff run in 2015 and the parade that they had at Union Station, where you can look back at the pictures and it's just a sea of blue. That's all you see is blue. I mean, if you ask me, they had more people at the World Series parade and they did at the Super Bowl parade, but the Royals winning it in 2015 means more to the real citizens of Kansas City than the Chiefs did winning the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Then when the Super Bowl was great, it celebrated. Hey, we loved it. You got to see it red out there. They backed the Chiefs. But the Royals went 30 years in between winning titles, and at the rate they're playing right now, it may be another 30 years, but that's another story for another day. Just the way that the city came together for them for those 2 years where they made that run definitely made that more special.
I got you, man. Got you. We met out here in these rave-on streets. Shout out to Brittany and James.
Yes, definitely.
TB and I hosted some last year. You were holding it down for those Jayhawks, and looks like a lot of fun is in store this coming season on the rave.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Yes.
So yeah, man, I'll try to hop in there on some of your chats if the cats aren't playing. And, won't talk no trash, but just hop in there and just say what's up.
Right.
And man, you gotta tell us because Kansas City is a place. I asked Courtney Harden this the other day. He's from Philadelphia. But where the locals go, not the touristy places. Where do the locals go for the barbecue? Not the place that people Google and just get Yelp reviews. You being there up in the city, where do y'all go? Where we really need to be going?
I mean, there are so many places you can go. There's Q39, there's LC, there's Jones Barbecue, no relation. Joe's Kansas City. There are so many places right now. I would say Q39, Slaps, and although I'm partial to them, I would say Joe's Kansas City. Those would be my top three.
Wow. So is Gates the touristy place that people just know?
Gates is a touristy place. Arthur Bryant's, avoid that place at all costs if you can, because it is.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what people come to town. I gotta have some Gates. I gotta have Gates. And hi, how can I help you? And it's good, it's okay. But those three places, Q39 on another level. Slaps on another level. Smokehouse, Jack Stack, all of them great. All of them on another level.
Cool. See,
I'm gonna have to check those places out. I'm just over here in Iowa, so I'm in Des Moines. So I'm looking to me and the missus are looking to come to Kansas City at some point here. Vinny, we got all these list of places that we want to hit, but definitely want to go to Kansas City because we want to see the Negro League Museum.
Yeah, down 18th and Vine. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's been on my list of things to do. I just moved into a house, Brian, here the last week, so waiting for the dust to settle on that, and then we're gonna start doing stuff.
Definitely.
We had Bob Kendrick on a couple times. Got to have him back on, but yeah, we gotta get out there to the museum and check that off the list for sure, man. And he always comes down and drops knowledge about the league and players and things we hadn't heard of, and he just gives us so much insight, man. That's a classy dude.
Yeah, he's a baseball encyclopedia, and he loves the Negro League and loves the museum very dearly. Him and Buck O'Neil were tight, and he learned so much from Buck and just the history of the Negro League, and the backstories, and everything that went along with the majestic history of the Negro League. So yeah, he's definitely a go-to, and he's definitely a treasure and asset to this town as well.
Yeah. Well, man, you are too, and you got your shows that's coming up. On Wednesday with the run back and in the zone. So, man, wish you all the best with that. See you on the Rave on Sports App Streets, and it's right around the corner, man. We'll be diving into it. Football and basketball. It's all right around the corner.
It's all coming back. Yes, sir.
Man, thank you for hopping on here and chopping it up with us. Hats off again on y'all's chip this past March, and you deserve to just do all this you want to do. We don't blame you one bit. We ain't mad.
No problem. Thank you, man. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Hey,
thanks for stopping by.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Brian Jones at B Jones Sports. Give him a follow. Watch him when we put this out on Roku and listen on Anchor, and we'll get him back on again, man. That's a good dude, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Got Sammy Scoring, chopped it up with Brian. All kind of fun, man. We done a whole bunch of stuff in this show, man. A whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, considering today is like the least sports day of the entire year.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Not even no baseball. Not even.
There was something I was going to say, but I can't remember what I was going to say. I don't even know, man. I need to write stuff down. Is what I need to do.
I put some stuff in my notes on the phone, or else I'd have forgot. That stuff happened. The little T-Mac league. I was like, let me put that in because I had no idea. But all that. There is a camp. I saw Will Levis tweeted out they're gonna have a camp for Chris Oates. And and the proceeds are going to go towards funding. Some of the proceeds will help him to where he can go back to the facility to continue his rehab. I've seen the videos. DeAndre Square spoke about Oates at media day, and he teared up and got choked up talking about him. But they're gonna have a camp. I don't have that tweet pulled up, but I retweeted it from all the show accounts and stuff. So it was cool to see that Chris Oates has not been forgotten with everything that he's going through and continuing to deal with. And I know the funding had ran out at one facility he was at, but with everything that's going on, now's not a good time for that to stop. So for him to continue to have rehab and help he needs, it was good to see that the camp is going to be happening, and Levis said he was going to be there, and it's a good thing that everybody's continuing to rally around Chris Oates.
Absolutely. Anytime I see those updates, I'm always encouraged, because Wildcats, we don't turn our back on folks.
That's right. Let me see if I can.
I am going to turn my back on this dog.
The star out there, man. The star. Here it is. The Christopher Oates camp. Portion of the proceeds will be donated to Chris Oates' medical bills and rehab. Limited spots are available, so sign up now. allstarcamps-kyoh.com. Hashtag 22 Oaks Strong. Hashtag NIL. So you can click allstarcamps-kyoh.com. You can register, sign up for the camp for Chris Oates. So Saturday, July 23rd. It is going to be at Beechwood High School. They are always a powerhouse in football. A little single A school. 54 Beechwood Road, Fort Mitchell, Kentucky, 41017. $129 per camper. Space is limited, and this is for all skill positions and linemen from the 1st grade through the 12th grade. It is not a camp for kickers, and it says it is a non-contact camp. And then there's the button to sign up. All players attending will receive an official camp t-shirt, autographed souvenir by Kentucky players in attendance, Will Levis, among others. So you in a photo op with all the players and more. So all positions, 1st grade through 12th grade, will definitely be a fun camp to go and participate in and sharpen your skills up and meet Will Levis and all the cats that's going to be there. And it's going to a good cause because some of the proceeds are going to help Chris Oates. So that's win, 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 win across the board.
Absolutely. And like I said, anytime I see those videos, I am encouraged by the fight he's showing. So
yeah. For that to happen at that age, right when you're peak going into early 19, 20, 21 years old, and to have that happen to you. So yeah, he's not shying away. He's still attacking it, and like you said, that is encouraging for sure. I will hit our promo video, get that in, and before we wrap up, we talked about a whole bunch of stuff just to show you the part of the network we're part of, BS3 Network, all the other podcasts. And we've had several of the other hosts on here with us, and we'll continue to do so. So y'all just check that out as you watch and see what we are part of. bs3network.com, email bs3network.com. If you want to advertise on the show, 470-884-0120. Just holler at them or message us, and we'd be glad to talk about your business or product here on Cats Talk Wednesday, just like everything else we done talked about on this episode and all the others. And, you know, us disagreeing about stuff and TB taking shots at the Cowboys and, you know, all of that kind of stuff that we do, you know, and agreeing on Kentucky and disagreeing on everything else. Michelle jumping in off the top rope, throwing jokes in and shade in about J-Lo having more rings, all that on Cats Talk Wednesday every single week. We talked about a ton of stuff, even though there ain't a lot of stuff to talk about. We got it all in out here. TB is moved into the new crib. TB is already barbecuing out there in the corn. Sammy is running the show. So everything is happening. Okay. Everything is as it should be.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm glad y'all got moved in safe. Hope the Minneapolis trip is fun. And that trip, it's a dome stadium, so if it's burning up, y'all will be comfortable and you won't have the brutal Chicago weather. If it's cold, so you got the climate control to see your 49ers whoop up on Kirk Cousins in the preseason.
I think it's the last preseason game, so I won't even. It's the game where you know, the starters aren't going to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be the third. I can't really remember. Maybe it's the third.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. Let me go do that.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
I had never been to Minneapolis, so I'm sure it's a fun city. You get to check that out. I don't know. Have you been before, or it'd be your first time going to?
Be my first time. I want to go to Paisley Park and, you know, let the purple come over me.
Yes, game blouses. Man, we had fun over here, y'all. Glad you're back. Missed you last week. Glad you're back up in here this week. Glad the move is falling into place. Thanks to Brian Jones for hopping on. Thanks to everybody that watches and listens. But we'll be back here next week, another week closer to. We still got to do our little. We'll do the one win-loss record next week for Kentucky. We'll get our predictions.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, give me a little time to research that. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, get the schedule looked up, which ain't crazy daunting, and that's a fun place to be as a Kentucky football fan. The schedule doesn't just overwhelm us at the sight of it like it used to. It used to be, Lord, we used to read that schedule and just wince. And now, hey, every game is winnable, and we're gunning for Georgia. That's a fun place to be.
Absolutely, it's better than trying to get right.
Exactly. So yeah, tune in next week. We'll do our season preview, record predictions, and whatever else happens between now and then. We'll talk about it, and y'all hopefully enjoy it, and we enjoy bringing it to you. Hope y'all enjoy consuming it. So man, TB, y'all be safe, and
you too, sir. We'll
hit this outro video, and we'll see everybody next Wednesday on Cats Talk Wednesday. Y'all follow us, and we'd appreciate it. And thank you for watching.